Every single time you get in your car, you are trusting your life to some incredible hidden engineering. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the science behind the silent guardians of our roads, the barriers that are literally designed to save you.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about those steel guardrails, the big concrete walls, and those cable fences you see running down the highway. They're so common, so much a part of the landscape, we barely even notice them anymore. But here's the thing. They are so much more than just passive walls. They are sophisticated, active safety systems. And once you understand how they work, I promise you, you will never look at the road the same way again.
Okay, to really get this, we have to throw out our most basic assumption about them. The goal is not to just stop a car with brute force. Actually, that's pretty much the last thing an engineer wants to happen. Think about it for a second. A moving car, even a small one, has a huge amount of kinetic energy. If you just stopped it dead in its tracks, the forces on anyone inside would be, well, catastrophic. So the real genius here is figuring out how do we get rid of all that energy safely. And the secret, the absolute key, is this brilliant principle called controlled deformation. It means these barriers are designed to bend, to flex, and to crumble in a very specific, calculated way. They literally sacrifice themselves to absorb the force of an impact so that your body doesn't have to. In that split second of a crash, this controlled failure lets a barrier pull off 3 critical life-saving jobs. First, it's got to absorb all that insane energy. Then, it needs to redirect the car, kind of guiding it safely along the barrier. And finally, it has to be strong enough to prevent the vehicle from just punching right through it, which could cause an even worse crash. Now this is where it gets really cool, because that balancing act has led engineers to create a whole toolkit of different barriers. You can't use the same tool for every job, right? Well, same goes for roadside hazards. This chart gives you a quick look at the main tools in that toolkit. You've got your classic steel guardrail, which is designed to bend and guide you. Then there's the massive concrete barrier. That's your immovable object for separating high-speed traffic. Cable barriers are more like a safety net. They flex a lot to gently catch a vehicle. And then you have crash cushions, the ultimate shock absorbers, built to just crumple up and absorb a direct head-on hit. Let's use an analogy here because this one really nails it. Think of a guardrail along a curve like a bobsled run. Its main job is redirection, to keep you safely on the path. But a crash cushion at the end of an off-ramp, that is a catcher's mitt. Its only job is absorption, to bring you to a safe stop before you hit something solid. 2 totally different jobs. So how do engineers choose the right tool? Well, it's this incredibly complex puzzle they have to solve. They're looking at traffic speed, the shape of the road, how much space they have to work with, not to mention durability and, of course, the budget. It's a mix of physics, geometry, and logistics to find the perfect fit for every single spot. But how do we know all this stuff actually works? Well, it's been a long journey. A real evolution from early designs that were sometimes dangerous themselves. And that entire evolution has been driven by one thing: intense real-world testing. Basically, we learned by breaking stuff. Yeah, we learned from some tragic mistakes. Early guardrails had this awful flaw where the exposed end could act like a spear in a head-on crash. That led to huge innovations, like energy-absorbing ends, but the real game changer was creating rigorous, standardized tests. Today, nothing gets put on the road unless it passes these grueling protocols, like MASH in the US. And these tests are, well, they're incredibly destructive. They're not just checking if the barrier stops the car. They crash everything from small sedans to huge trucks into them at precise angles. They use high-speed cameras to see if the car rolls over or if parts fly off. And inside, high-tech dummies with sensors measure the exact forces on the human body to make sure a crash is survivable. And get this, before they even build a single physical prototype, engineers run thousands of virtual crash tests. They use these super powerful computer simulations to model a crash, millisecond by millisecond, watching how every single piece of metal will bend and deform. It lets them perfect the design in the digital world before they have to do the expensive, destructive part. So after all that engineering, all that design, all that destruction, what's the result? Well, the Federal Highway Administration found that just by installing barriers in the median, you can slash fatalities from cross-median crashes, which are some of the deadliest accidents out there, by over 90%.
Just let that sink in. 90%. That is a truly staggering, undeniable, life-saving impact from a piece of infrastructure that most of us just drive past without a second thought. But here's the thing about that incredible 90% number. It isn't just about steel and concrete. It's about a whole system. And you, the driver, are a critical part of making that system work. Okay, if you take only one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. Never, ever hit the end of a barrier head-on. Even with modern designs, it's still the weakest, most vulnerable point. Just be aware of them, especially on exit ramps, and always give them plenty of space. So how can you be a better partner to this life-saving technology? It really just boils down to giving the barrier what it needs to do its job: time and space. Staying alert and keeping a safe speed reduces the energy it has to deal with, and staying a safe distance away gives it the room it needs to flex and deform. Your good driving habits are a key ingredient in the recipe for safety. And of course, road safety is a team sport. It's on all of us, whether we're in a car, on foot, or on a bike. Let's all stay alert and look out for each other out there.
So hopefully the next time you're driving, you'll see these structures just a little bit differently. You won't just see a guardrail. You'll see the physics. You'll see the decades of testing. You'll see brilliant, life-saving thinking hiding in plain sight. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other amazing, life-saving science is out there, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for us to take a closer look?
Please like, subscribe, and get notified.